Hey guys, in today's video we're going to check out part 2 of question 10 of the Math Paper 2 June 2024 Gauteng paper. We're going to work through the last 14 marks of this exam, looking at some prop theorem and some similarity ratios. So let's jump right in. So what we have is 10.2 over here. It says in the diagram below, D is the center of a circle. Okay, so that's important for us, which means we'll have a radii over here and a radii over here, as well as a radii over here. AB and AE are tangents, so we got AB and AE over here. So AB and AE are tangents to the circle at B and E respectively. The diameter BG over here is produced and meets tangent AE at C. So both of these guys have just been produced on a straight line and they reach at point C. It says DC equals CG, as they've given us here. We have DG and GC are equal. F is a point on AC, such that DF is parallel to AB. Okay, so parallel also important. Cool. So then 10.2.1 says find with reasons the ratio of AC, so AC here, over FC over there. Okay, so in order to find a ratio and us having parallel lines over here, AB and FD over there, the most common way is to do some sort of prop theorem, which means that if we can get a ratio on this side of BD and DC, and we know we have these parallel lines here of FD and AB, it means we can get the ratio of AC to FC over there. Okay, which means we're just going to have to start with the information they've given, and the very important information has to do with stuff like radii and tangents. And if we're going to work on this side, we're going to work with the pink lines, B to G, because that is our diameter, which means that DG equals X and BD equals X as well, because these are radii, they are the same length. But then GC is also X because they've told us that DG equals GC. Okay, which means right now we're going to write all the rules. We have the proportion of BD to DC relative to our parallel lines AB and FD over there, which means what we can write is DB equals DG. So DB equals DG equals X because radii. And then we can say DG equals GC equals X given, which means over here for D to C, we have 2X, and here from D to B, we just have an X over there, which means in triangle ABC, so triangle ABC over there, we've been given that DF is parallel to BA, and therefore, using prop theorem, we can take the corresponding side. So we're going to start with the form that we want it in. So we're going to write AC over FC equals, so it's AC over FC equals BC. So we're going to trace all the way from B all the way up to C over DC. And what we can see, as we mentioned, is that B to C is X plus X plus X. So we have 3x over there, and then DC is x plus x, so we have 2x over there, which means our x's will cancel, and that leaves us with 3 over 2. And we can either write line parallel to one side of triangle, because what we're seeing is a line parallel to one side of the triangle, or we can write prop theorem with the parallel lines. I find that one a lot easier to remember, so I'm going to go ahead and use that one. So we have prop theorem, because we had one side in proportion and one pair of parallel lines, prop theorem, and then we're just writing DF is parallel to BA. Cool. From there, 10.2.2, they say prove giving reasons that triangle ABC, so ABC, this big triangle we were working in, is similar, 3 lines going up, to triangle DEC over there. So we're in the yellow triangle, and we're in the orange triangle over there as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and write the 2 triangles that we're working in again, because it makes it a lot easier for us to orient ourselves. So we're going to say in triangle ABC and triangle DEC, because we haven't yet proven similarity, we're going to look at a couple of angles. Okay, and the best way to go through this is a checklist, because right now they've put it in an arrangement with the corresponding angles and the corresponding sides, which means angle A over here will equal angle D over there. Angle B over here will equal angle E over here. Then angle C over here equals angle C over there. So it's usually best to try and start with the angle that has the same letter. So in this scenario, we have ABC over here and then DEC over there. And if we're tracing it, ABC over here is that angle, and DEC over here is that angle over there, which means they have a common angle, and that's always a nice rule to look for. So we have angle C equals angle C because common angle. And then from there, we just have to prove one more angle because the third angle will always be interior angles of a triangle. So we just need to find which angle we're going to work with, which means we've started with C. Let's check out E and B over here and see what we can do. So DEC, what do we have here, is an angle like that. And ABC is an angle like this, okay? And right now we have a lot of colors in our triangle, but something to keep in mind is that we've used the diameter or the radii already. We can potentially use that again, but what's very important is always looking for any places where a tangent meets a radius, for example. Because in this scenario, we have this tangent here, AB, and it's meeting this radius here, BD, which means that this guy will be 90 because tan perp rad. So what we can say is angle ABD equals 90 degrees because tan perp rad. So ABD 90 degrees because tan perp rad. And then if we're trying to prove that B equals E1 and we know that they have to be the same, we have to see why E1 is 90 degrees as well. Because E1 is 90 degrees for the exact same reason, because we also have a tangent here, AE, and it is also meeting our red line here, our radii, DE, which means that E1 also equals 90 degrees, also because of tan perp rad. And therefore, angle ABD on angle B there equals E1 equals 90. And this is just proven because of those two reasons we just wrote. So we have a common angle, B is 90, E1 is 90, and therefore D3 over here equals A over there. The third angle because of interior angles of a triangle, which means we can just go ahead and write that. D3 equals angle A because int angles of triangle. And that means that we have three angles that are exactly the same, and therefore we have proven similarity. Therefore, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEC. So they're not exactly the same, but the angles are the same and their sides are in proportion. And this is because of AAA. Great. And that would earn us 3 marks over there. And then 10.2.3 says prove that DESquared equals AE times EC over 3. Okay, and this is a 5-mark question, and it is following from a proving similarity question. So usually once we've proven similarity, it's best to rewrite that so we can see our corresponding sides in proportion and start to rearrange things so that we can slot them into here. Which means that we've proven that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEC, which means we can start to look at the sides that are in proportion. So just like angle A equals angle D, B equals E, and C equals C, this is also in a specific arrangement so we can figure out which sides are in proportion. Because AB over DE is in proportion. So AB over DE equals BC over EC equals AC over DC. AC over DC. And it kind of looks like 2 eyebrows over there and a smiley face. So this is how we take the corresponding sides in proportion. And our reason for this is just similarity because we've proven similarity and therefore we know that these sides are in proportion. So we just rewrite this over here. And then what we have to do is try and figure out which of these 2 equations have the most overlap with this equation over here. So we can figure out which 2 to take. Because right now we need a DE, we need 2 of them because we have a DE squared. I see a DE over here, so we're going to deal with this guy. And then there's also an AE and an EC. An AE I do not see anywhere, but an EC I see over here in this one, which means we can take this guy as well. So we're going to leave AC over DC. There isn't any overlap with the sides that we want and the sides over here, which means we can just go ahead and write AB over DE equals BC over EC. From there, the easiest way I've found is to move it into the same orientation as this. By that, we have a DE at the bottom, so try and move it to the top. So we're going to move the DE to the top by cross multiplying over there. We have this guy here. We're then going to move our EC to the top as well, because EC is at the top here and we currently have it at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to have AB over here multiplied by EC. And then this time, I'm just going to move the BC down to the bottom here, because what is going to happen is that BC would be multiplying by DE over here, but I'm just going to move it down to the bottom so that DE is by itself, and BC is here where the 3 currently is. Okay, because what we're going to have to do is swap some things out, because DE is exactly where we want it, and so is EC. Okay, these guys are happy. We just need another DE over here, and the only way we can get a DE over here is in terms of our BC, because 3 times DE will equal BC, so we can leave a 3 at the bottom and multiply our DE up top. We'll break that down just now. And then we'll also have to see how we can relate AB to AE over here and just swap them out, and hopefully they are the same for some reason. Okay, which means let's look at BC first and see how we can relate it to DE so we can get a DE squared. So as we can see, BC over here is this long line, which is x plus x plus x, and that's 3x, okay? If we're looking at DE over here, it's also a red line, and it also equals x over there, because it is a radii, just like this radii and this radii over there, which means all we have to do is write that BC equals 3DE, because we can see here that BC is x plus x plus x, and DE equals x over there, and therefore 3 times x, 3 times DE will equal BC, which means we can just go ahead and substitute that in so long. So it means we have AB multiplied by EC over 3DE. So we have replaced BC over there, and that equals DE. This is great for us because what we can see is that the 3 is over here now, and that is what we want. And then we can just cross multiply DE up to join DE over here. And then we can have DE squared, which means we have DE squared. We have AB multiplied by EC over 3, which means we have DE squared. We have the 3 over here. We have EC. We just need to swap out AB and make it AE. We just have to see why that is true. And looking at AB and AE over here, they are both tangents to the circle from the same point, which means AB will equal AE because they are both tans from same point. So we can just go ahead and write that. AB equals AE because tans from same point. And therefore we can go ahead and substitute that in. Where AB used to live, we can now write AE, and we have AE multiplied by EC over 3 equals DE squared. And that is exactly what we have here. DE squared equals AE multiplied by EC over 3. And this would earn us 5 marks. And then from there, last question, 10.2.4 says, find the ratio of area of triangle FDC over there. So ratio of triangle FDC over here over the ratio of the triangle ABC over there. Okay. Which means we're just going to go ahead and rewrite this formula. This is quite a common question I've seen in quite a few papers. So we have area of triangle FDC over area of triangle ABC. We just need to see which area of triangle formula we're going to work with. Because in the proof in the previous video, we saw that we were using half base times perpendicular height. But in this one, what's very common is to use our trig and triangles formula so we can cancel out a common angle, okay? Because they're both sharing a common angle here, C, which means we're going to use that one so that they can cancel out. So if we're going to look at area of triangle FDC, we have half, and then we're going to leave space for which two sides we're working in, because we know that we want sine of C because it is the common angle for both, which means that if we're going to use this angle here, we have to use the sides on either side of that angle. And in triangle FDC here, that means that we're using FC and DC, which means that we already have a ratio from 10.2.1 earlier, and the ratio we had was 3:2 for AC to FC, which means that this FC here was 2, AF was 1, and the whole A to C was adding up to 3, which means we're going to take FC first. We'll sub in the values just now, multiplied by DC over there, because these are the two sides, FC and DC, that are on either side of sine C over there. We're then going to do the same thing for area of triangle ABC. So ABC over here, we have a half. We're going to multiply it by sine C, the common angle, so we can cancel some things. And same thing here is that our angle is here. So we're going to take both sides on either side of that angle, and it's going to be AC multiplied by BC over there. So we're going to say half AC multiplied by BC multiplied by sine C. There aren't any reasons for this one, we're just proving it because we've already done the working earlier to get the proportions of the sides, which means we can go ahead, cancel our halves, just like we did in the previous proof, cancel our common angle, our sine C over there, and then substitute the values into FC, DC, AC, and BC. So FC's value is 2 over here, as we could see, based on DC also equaling 2, and we have proven prop theorem in triangle BCA over there, which means FC is 2 multiplied by DC, which is 2 or 2x. Either way is fine because our x's are going to cancel, over AC. AC over here is 1 plus 2, so we have 3, and then same thing here. BC is 1, 2, 3 x's, so we have 3 over there, which means we have 2 times 2 at the top, which gives us 4, and 3 times 3 at the bottom, which gives us 9, and we have 4 over 9 as our final answer. Because here we've just found the ratio of the areas of triangle FDC and triangle ABC. Cool, and that just earned us 3 marks over there, 19 marks for this last question, and 150 marks for this whole paper. Great job guys, let me know if there are any questions in the comments below, and then I will see you in the next video.